Hey, what's up? It's Hoodie Allen, and you are watching E23.
Staying up late just to pass the time, and your pants don't like it when you are getting high, but I'm all about
Yeah,
it,
well, I
baby.
started making music when I was in high school, and then that was something that I spent a lot of my time doing during college. And I guess it was a hobby more so because nobody really cared. But then once things started popping off on the internet a little bit, I was able to sort of make that decision between going away from a traditional job and going full-time into music.
I've been walking around like I don't give a fuck. And it's probably
I was a bit of a nerdy kid in high school. I was really good at math and school in general. Did a lot of extracurricular activities. I wasn't the coolest kid. I wasn't the least cool kid either. Somewhere in between, I would say.
good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past. But knowing me, my DeLorean will
Some of my closest friends are still my group of friends from high school. They don't really get how what it is until they come to the shows and they're like, oh yeah, you're that guy too. Because to them we're just the same as we've always been. But once in a while there'll be someone from high school who message you on Facebook or something and be like, hey, can you do this thing for me? And I was like, we weren't even friends then, so no.
show me how to be a man.
I think that's something that you just get from how you're raised, honestly, because that's just how my parents taught me to be in general. And I feel very grateful for everything that's happened to me. So I see no reason why I would be anything other than appreciative for the fact that I get to do this as my job. And anyone who uses that advantage to I don't know, be sort of a egomaniac person, I don't think it works out in the long run for them.
This ain't no surprise party, girl, and you don't need
I don't know what the craziest of all time is, but on this tour that we're on right now, I had my friend Ed Sheeran come out to perform our song in LA, and that was the first time we ever performed together. So that was a pretty crazy moment because nobody was expecting it at all.
tonight. Ain't nobody home. We can fuck anywhere. You already know.
Oh, Kate. Yeah, well, I this might be lame, but I take this as my job, so never do the pre-gaming thing before the shows because I need to put on the best show. But maybe, Kate, we can do a little bit of post-gaming, perhaps.
I don't really need a backup plan. I'm looking in the mirror like, goddamn, it's an attractive man. I go hard like I'm trying to catch.
Putting music out for free has sort of been one of I don't know about strategies, but one of the things that I've sort of done my whole career, even from the beginning with putting out free mixtapes. It's been something that my fans have enjoyed getting music that way, obviously, and they're familiar with it. So I have always wanted to make it very easy. So on Happy Camper, I wanted to give people the option. They could buy it if they wanted to support it, or they could get it on Spotify, but I put the whole thing on YouTube, I put the whole thing on SoundCloud, just as a way to say, however you want to receive the music and listen to it, it's cool with me as long as you do it.
You'll always be a king to me. Family.
I think King to Me might be one of my favorite songs on this album just because it's more of a personal song, and it's cool that I was able to make a song about a relationship with my father, but at the same time other people listening to it will find their own similarities in whatever relationship they have with their family, and being able to do something personal but that also feels like it relates to the people who are listening. I've just really enjoyed the response from it.
Happy camper, happy camper.
That process of naming an album is very interesting because it's different every time. Sometimes old albums have literally been I was on a train and I'm just sitting there listening to the music and it just hits me and the thing happens, or somebody could write something to me on Twitter and unbeknownst to them what they wrote stuck with me, and I was like, oh, I like that for something else. And then you get you're oh, I'm gonna write that down. So I'm always writing down ideas or titles or little things. And with Happy Camper, I think that's how it happened. Somebody said the phrase Happy Camper to me and I was like, oh, I like that phrase. Why do I like this phrase? And then it sort of molded into a more fully formed idea for the project.
If you ain't having fun, what you do it for? Quit your job, leave your wife, tell your kids you went on tour. You went out to get them snacks.
What I would say is I think everyone has their own path, and for me, going and finishing school was something that I really wanted to do because I wanted to have the degree and I wanted to be able to say I was a college graduate. And for me, the timing worked out really well that once I graduated, things started taking off with music. But I do think that like sometimes when someone has a creative pursuit, they just need to go for it regardless. But hey, if you're gonna spend 3 years in college, you might as well finish the last one. You guys are an awesome school. I'm so glad that I'm here for the second time now, and thanks for helping us make a sold out show. I can't wait to perform tonight, and have a good rest of your school year. Kill finals, do all the good shit that you need to do. Can I say shit? Can't say shit. Do all the good stuff that you need to do.
One for the money, two people since the beginning. 3 million records get sold and now everybody is winning. I'm Larry David plus Miles Davis, so everybody hated and fuck it, I hardly blame 'em.